Once the abutment is selected, depending upon the type of the shape or the location, the next is the design part. So when abutments fail to satisfy their intended design function, they are considered to reach limit stage. So limit states can be categorized into two types: ultimate limit states and serviceability limit states. An abutment reaches an ultimate limit state when the strength of the at least one of its components is fully mobilized or the structure becomes unstable. In the ultimate limit state, an abutment may experience serious distress and structural damage, both locally and globally. So in addition, various failure modes in the soil that supports the abutment can also be identified. These are called ultimate limit states. They include bearing capacity failure, sliding, overturning and overall instability. Serviceability limit states. An abutment experiences a serviceability limit state when it fails to perform its intended design function fully due to excessive deformation or deterioration. Serviceability limit state includes excessive total or differential settlement, lateral movement, fatigue, vibration and cracking. So the forces that comes on the abutments are the earth pressure that will be exerted on an abutment can be classified depending upon the direction and magnitude of the abutment movement. So at rest it is earth pressure, active earth pressure and passive earth pressure. At rest earth pressure is that is when the wall is fixed rigidly and does not move. The pressure will be exerted by the soil on the wall and this pressure is called at rest earth pressure. Then you have active earth pressure. That is when a wall moves away from the backfill, the earth pressure decreases. That is active earth pressure. Then when the wall moves towards the backfill, the earth pressure increases. This is called passive pressure. While designing the abutment, we should look into some of the criteria. That is, there may be sliding, there may be indifferent, the bearing capacity may vary. So all these things has to be looked into. So abutments may be subjected to various limit states or types of failure. So the failures can occur within soil or the structural member. It may be sliding failure that occurs when the lateral earth pressure is exerted on the abutment which exceeds the frictional sliding capacity of the foundation. If the bearing pressure is larger than the capacity of the foundation, soil or rock, then the bearing failure results. The soil will not be able to hold the abutment in position. Then deep-seated sliding failure which may develop in clayey soil. Suppose the soil is too clayey, then there may be deep-seated sliding failure. Also, the structural failure should be checked. So these are the slides which are showing the sliding failure. So this is the abutment which is moving because of the sliding force. This is the original place and this is the sliding zone. And this is the bearing failure. When the soil is not able to hold, then this abutment may overturn. And if it is a clay soil, then complete sliding, deep seated sliding, the entire thing may slide away. That is the deep seated sliding failure. Then the complete structural failure because of improper design. So basic design criteria for abutments are, so whenever you are designing the abutments with clay soils or in the backfills or foundations with granular backfills, then abutments with granular backfills and foundations on the rock, different steps have to be followed. First, we need to select the preliminary proportions of the wall, determine the loads and the earth pressures, then calculate the magnitude or the intensity of the reaction forces at the base, check for the stability and safety criteria, that is location of the normal component of the reactions, of all the reactions, the dead load, live loads, the lateral pressures, the normal of all this component reaction where it is happening, the adequacy of the bearing pressure, safety against sliding has to be checked. Then reverse proportion of the wall and repeat. Then we have to revise the proportions of the wall if it is not satisfied, and repeat the steps until we get a stability criteria. That is, the check is satisfied. Once it is done, then we have to again check for the tolerable limits, that is the settlement, and we have to check for deep-seated foundation failure. If proportions become unreasonable, we have to consider a foundation that will be driven on pines or drill shaft. So this is a first we need to select the preliminary proportions of the wall. Assume the preliminary proportions. What will be the top width, the bottom width, the thickness of the toe, the hoe, heel, everything has to be selected. Then we have to determine the loads, the earth pressure, then the magnitude of the reaction forces. What will be the live load on the abutment due to the approaching load, due to the backfill, the self weight of the abutment. Everything has to be calculated. Then the stability check has to be performed. Check has to be determined. If it is inadequate, it has to be redesigned. Then again for bearing it should be checked and properly proportioned.